Hey, so what's going on, everybody? Darren Williger checking in from the automobile. Officially, this is Car Vlogs. That's carvlogs.com. CARVLOGS. And I'm rocking with my new winter hat. What do you guys think of my new winter hat? Pretty exciting, huh? So, I'm happy to have my new winter hat. I'm heading to the All Animal Expo in Wheaton, Illinois. Today is November 3rd, 2012. Last night was fantastic. Had awesome time with friends. Went out with Bion and Mac. Hello. And Haristo.
It's this birthday!
And we went to a cool restaurant for tapas in Arlington Heights. Anyway, we had a lot of delicious foods. Anyway, so had a real good time. I'm heading to the All Animal Expo. As mentioned, I need to get some crickets and other supplies for my exotic pets. Woohoo! Want to learn more about exotic pets? Go to myexoticpetguide.com. That's exoticpetguide.com. Anyway, heading towards the All Animal Expo in Wheaton, Illinois, as mentioned, to get some crickets and maybe pick up a couple of female day geckos because, you know, Lamar, he's looking for a couple additional green females for the winter time to stay snug with and procreate. Been a good day. Been a cathartic week overall. It's been incredible. So at work, it was the end of our fiscal cycle. And being in sales, my main priority is hitting an incredibly high number before the end of that said fiscal cycle. And it was definitely an uphill battle. Proud to say I hit my goal. And immediately following the goal came some additional unexpected pressure that I dealt with as well properly. And that's where I say it was kind of cathartic. I realized I over-prepared quite a bit for something uncomfortably, and I've learned that in the future, if something seems painfully uncomfortable, perhaps I need to take a look at the necessary steps towards achieving goal without taking that route. Other than that, I'm taking off a few days right now from work. So officially from the 1st through the 7th, I am not at work. Part of the reason I've done this is to take a phone vacation and an email break because I hate phones. Personally and professionally, I have certain boundaries I'm going to be incorporating a little bit better. It seems to be an ongoing journey that I deal with phones and email. Here's the thing. Email is just so passé. I find it more disruptive than productive. Overall, it's something I have to use for my job, so I've created different limitations, boundaries even, I'm beginning to enforce better on myself. Things like, let's check email 3 times a day, but not sit there constantly. It wouldn't make any sense if I was running my mailbox in front of my home constantly, hoping for a letter, and I need to begin treating email similarly. Obviously, email comes in throughout the day. So here's the productive formula that Williger has. Make calls when you want to make calls. Send an email when you want to send an email. Get it off your head. But as far as checking email or checking calls, do that at pre-specified intervals. And here's why. At least for myself. I know a lot of people are multitaskers. I'm definitely more of a hyper-tasker. I'll get a ton more done when I focus on a task than if I'm jumping all over to a million of them. So what I need to do is constantly create these boundaries. And I've noticed that even a single phone disruption, like a unexpected call while I'm in the middle of a work trance type of zone, is going to throw my game for a while. That it's going to take quite a bit of time to get back on track. I've seen studies where they say it takes your brain waves about 15 minutes to readjust. So that means that every unexpected call is adding an additional 15 minutes to your day. Wouldn't it make more sense to carve a block of time, let's say from 2 to 3, to use phones, keep in that state of mind, and then go back to others? And that's what I'm going to try doing too. It's important to me to take a few days right now and disconnect from all phones and all email. And I'm doing this because as soon as I'm off of phones and email for even a couple days, the creative part of my mind begins to really open up. I find myself tweeting and blogging and just really enjoying a happy cerebral state and connecting at hyperspeed versus email, which the way that I work, you know, I've got a very obsessive, tenacious mind. I'm going to lock into stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to shake. I stayed on email yesterday a day longer than I really wanted to. My goal was to take all of Friday off of email and phones and just enjoy some time, but I have something I'm trying to do personally, something I want to be part of, and I was waiting to hear back on a date for it and didn't hear back. Finally, at the end of the day on Friday, I sent a note nudging the people I was waiting for, explaining, hey, been waiting, shut an email down for 72, and back Monday at 5, and I need to make sure I stick to that. It's very important that I respect the boundaries I create for myself. One of the main reasons that I've been embracing vlogging more the past couple of years is I noticed that if I make a commitment to myself publicly here, even just putting it out on video, not the whole dynamic of somebody watching the video, but the dynamic of putting it out there on video, I find myself holding myself more accountable towards goals. And I've been able to hit different levels physically and mentally, spiritually, and emotionally just by doing this. I caught myself a couple of years ago repeating some goals about physical fitness, and a few months later calling myself out on that, and later realized that the powerful factor was we all have a lot of things we want to do, but we don't make it that have to do. So with my work, as I mentioned, I had to hit a certain number. With my weight and with my blood pressure and everything else, I'm realizing I have to hit a certain number, and I'm making a list of the steps required to do so. And that's it. As much as I'm learning that these calculated ways of measuring and managing are going to help my personal life as much as my professional, I realize that I also need to keep boundaries between personal and professional. And when I say that, I run a very tight ship professionally, and personally I want to not have so many rules and guidelines. And even in my mastermind group, which I lead each Wednesday, and this particular super mastermind has been going on over 4 years, has really allowed me to take a look at the structure, and we've loosened things up a little bit accordingly. I pretty much run it the way I run my business. However, I'm going to keep all the laser crazy intensity to my business, and oh, it's time to get into another lane. Let me slow down here a little bit and pay attention to what I'm doing. All right, we are moving over to Route 38, where I'm going to be getting off at Roosevelt Road, and that's exciting. Turning right, and when I get to Roosevelt Road. Anyway, it's a continuous journey with life, and by taking part of the 100 days and by vlogging my progress and taking a look at the steps, I'm able to see what I'm doing and break certain life cycles. We all end up in certain cycles. They could be positive, they could be negative, they could be cumbersome. So I'm into finding flow, not blocking flow, and it's increasingly important for me to create boundaries that are necessary for attaining success. And that's what it's all about. Additionally, I'm recognizing the value of downtime. By taking a few days off of work, I'm going to miss work and be more productive at it when I get back. And I'm going to be creating additional systems. Every week I challenge myself to create and document new success systems that I'll be following for the future. This means that exponentially I'll be getting better and better each and every day. Anyway, friends, thanks for the opportunity to check in. It's Darren.tv. It's the 100 days. I'm heading to the All Animal Expo. Life is good. Driving back from the All Animal Expo in Wheaton, Illinois at the DuPage County Fairgrounds at 2015 Manchester Road, occurring on the first Saturday and third Sunday of every month. Today is November 3rd, 2012, so it is the first Saturday, and I'm here and had a lot of fun, picked up a few supplies, nothing too crazy, got some crickets and some food, and a great deal of knowledge from the people who actually breed these pets. Everybody there is super friendly, highly recommend checking it out. All Animal Expo in Wheaton. So overall, it's been a good day so far. I'm eager to get back home. Right now it's around 2 o'clock. I've got a lot of video editing to do. I want to catch up with blogs and tweeting and get into my non-verbal state. Obviously now I'm still in a verbal state of making a vlog. I find that I either will do email and phones, or Twitter and blogs, or video. It's kind of one of those 3 communication groups. I don't do all 6 at once. I do generally 2 at once, unless it's video, which is video and audio at the same time, because you can hear me and see me. Anyway, that's how I work best. It's taken me years to get here. I'm going to be 43 this coming Tuesday, Election Day. I'm excited about that. Who are you voting for? Vote for D. Willie.